Hey guys, Cinzer here, and in this video I wanted to talk about the Sharpshooter Specialization in Division 2. So Sharpshooter was definitely the first one that I wanted to pick because I just like sniping, I like rifles, stuff like that. And this specialization is really good actually, even without the signature weapon, which I'll go over after everything else. But basically, this is going to be a guide on how which points you should get first and why this is a good specialization. Now I don't have all the points, like I don't have every skill unlocked, but you can respec for free. Like I've tried everything out. I've tried, the full signature weapon damage, I've tried out the sidearm, I've tried out all of these things. And so this is what I've currently set on for right now. First I want to go over the thing that you get for sharpshooter specialization is the flashbang grenade and of course the 50 cal sniper rifle. Now the flashbang grenade is pretty good because it applies blind to all targets. It will not do any damage. I actually like the other two specializations grenades more, but this one will still blind them, which leaves them vulnerable for more attacks. And of course, if you have any abilities that increase damage to blind enemies, then yeah, it's still a useful grenade even if it doesn't do any damage. Now, I would say there are one, two, three, four just really good perks for this, and the main reason you want to pick sharpshooter. This one is the headshot one. There's 5 tiers to it, and let me just go ahead and respec so you can see. For one, yeah, just instant. You have to do it at the safe house. I mean, White House, but it's free. Doesn't take anything. Just do as many times as you want. It's 5 points per tier, and it's 5% damage each time. And that's just pure headshot damage. It doesn't matter what weapon you're using. You're just going to do 25% increased headshot damage passively, as long as you have that. Now these other two are really good as well. There's the reload speed, and then there's the weapon stability. There's 3 tiers of that, each one being 10%. And so that's a 30% increase to reload speed, and then a 30% increase to weapon stability. Now that's really good. Just the reload speed in general is just really good. Even if you use like a light machine gun, for instance, or if you're using even a fast reload gun, like a quick assault rifle or something, it's gonna come back really quickly. And then the stability is really good because, of course, if you're firing fast firing weapons or like rifles especially, I think rifles are the most important ones. You want that stability to be high so that you don't, have so much recoil, so you can constantly shoot instead of having to wait for it to come back. Now the other thing is rifle damage. Rifles are really strong. I always love marksman rifles, and they're still good. If you get a nice hard-hitting marksman rifle, it's still great, especially if you have good aim. But I found myself liking and doing better with a regular, faster firing rifle. And not only that, the rifle's passive is crit hit damage. Um, but this passive will increase your rifle damage. It's 5% each time, 3 tiers. So that's 15% increased rifle damage to go along with your 25% increased headshot damage. And of course, that stability is going to be really helpful if you're using rifles because you'll be able to shoot a lot faster and consistently get headshots. Um, I also take the digital scope just because it's more headshot damage. It's very similar to the 12x scope. I believe it's the same distance as well. But what it does is, let me show you real quick before I put the rest of the points. I'm currently using a SIG 716 replica that I crafted, and it's got a great perk on it, Killer. Killing an enemy with crit hit increases crit hit chance by 50% for 5 seconds. And in rhythm's not too bad either if you have long cooldowns. But anyway, back to the scope. Digital scope. It's 45% headshot damage. Now the most you can get normally is the default sniper scope, which, yeah, there it is, 12x, which is 30% headshot damage. The problem with this scope is it, reduces reload speed. Well, this one, instead of reload speed, it reduces stability. Now, it depends on what you want, but I would say the extra, was it 15% headshot damage is worth the lower stability. And again, if you have that passive, it's almost like you're getting 10% more stability than you would have if you have that, because you'll have 30% extra stability to kind of negate that. So that's the one that I use, at least for rifles and marksman rifles, because again, more headshot damage. Now back to the actual perks. Those are the four that I was talking about. That's the most important. Those are what I would get first. Probably the headshot damage one first, at least one perk, so you can get deft hands. You can get one for those, and then one for breath control at least. But yeah, those are going to be really nice. And if you find you need that stability quicker, get the stability, get the reload speed, and then get the increased rifle damage if you're using, rifle. If for some reason not using rifle, or you just want those bonuses for a marksman rifle, I wouldn't worry about this one. I would just put one in just so you can get the scope, but then max out headshot damage, reload speed, stability. And you don't necessarily have to use the flashbang grenade if you want to save points. It's only 3 points, but I like the flashbang grenade. And then this one is default, the 50 cal sniper. I'm gonna go over the sniper and show some more of the shooting in a little bit, but let me go over the rest of the skill tree. Tactician, this is one of my favorite abilities in the game. The Tactician drone. So what it does is you'll send the drone out, and then you'll pick a location for it to go, and it'll pulse. It's like the pulse. It'll pulse every enemy in that area. It'll get to an area, then after a short time, it'll fly up in the air and then stay there, and it'll just mark everybody that's around it. And you can constantly move it if you need to. It'll follow you around if you go to a new area, but it does have a duration. Now, the thing is that the game right now is not actually showing what these upgrades are. It just says that it, marks the hostile targets. So based on the name, I haven't actually tested it out because I put both of these upgrades on and it does not show it in the skill description. It won't show any, it doesn't show any change, but I'm assuming the battery makes it last longer or have a shorter cooldown, and the carbon fiber frame will probably increase its health. But I've been fine just using it by default. So if you want to save points, you don't really need that. Um, for a solo player, those are pretty much all you need. Um, if you have extra points to spare, you can use the 25% increased signature weapon damage. But if I were you, I would not do that until doing the other ones, even if you're solo. Now, when it comes to group play, oh yeah, one more I forgot to mention, the armor kit. It repairs 50% less armor, but it'll remove status effects and increase resistance to bleed, poison, and burn for 20 seconds. So I think this is well worth it because status effects can absolutely just destroy you in this game. So being able to take them out with your armor kit and increase resistance is amazing. Plus you can have a healing ability, or if you're in a group, you won't really need to. From all the time I've been playing, with a healing ability at least, I rarely use armor kits. So you can save those for your status effects. Now the sharpshooter tack link is pretty nice. It's not that helpful personally, which is why if you're solo it doesn't help that much. But what it'll do is all group members that are closer to the enemy than you will get 10% headshot damage. So as long as you're behind everybody, all your team will get 10% headshot damage just for you being behind them. And then the extra armor gained while in cover is a good one to have. Again, it's not really needed, I would say. It's nice. Was basically when you go into cover, you'll see this blue. If you don't have max armor, you'll see this blue meter come up, which is giving you extra armor. But it's not a like make or break. If you don't want these and you're solo, or even if you're not solo, these aren't going to be huge. Like this guide is to help you get your initial points, so you're not wasting points. Or although you can respec, but still, this will be the most beneficial for you in the long run. I mean, from the beginning. not getting tackling. But when you have points to spare, that's some extra damage for your team, and then this is extra armor gained while in cover. Um, I honestly don't see a point in having the round after round. It'll generate marksman rifle and rifle ammo while you're in cover. After 20 seconds in cover, it'll start regenerating it every 10 seconds. That's a long time for one, and two, I think I've run out of marksman rifle or rifle ammo like once in all the time I've been playing. So I wouldn't really bother with that one. And then this one is great if you're doing conflict. Reduces the chance to be critically hit. I think every specialization has that. Now the sidearm, for one, I don't use sidearms that much, so I'm probably not the best person to talk about this, but I didn't really find the sidearm to be that great, and it costs 10 points to get. So I would just pass that up. Again, if you're in a group, I would get this because it's the group signature ammo supply. Kills with your signature weapon may drop signature weapon ammo for all group members. Again, if you're not in a group, don't worry about that. So if you're solo, don't even worry about that one. Don't even worry about the tack link or the my castle is my home. Yeah, don't worry about any of that. And then the last one, of course, is the signature weapon damage. Now the damage is pretty insane. It's 25. In fact, I'll respec one more time so you can see. 25% increased damage for the first point, and it's 10 points each one. Then it goes up to 57%, then 96, then 145. That's a huge increase in damage. However, I would not just like as soon as you start getting points, I would not worry about that. That's probably one of the last ones I would pick if you're solo, and literally the last one if you're in a group. Headshot damage first, reload speed, stability, the flashbang if you want to use the flashbang. If you're using rifles, max rifle. If you're not, then at least 1 point to get the digital scope and get the tactician drone. That's all you really need. And then of course if you're in a group, then get the tac link and the ammo supply. But the reason why I would say save this for last, because it's a lot of points. You're going to be doing much better when you are using your regular weapons. Oh, and how you get the ammo. Every specialization has a way to drop their signature ammo. It's enemy headshot kills. So this is one of the easiest ones to get. You're going to be able to get ammo quite a lot. So you're going to have your weapon a lot. But as you'll see in the targeting range real quick, once I put this in. Now let me just put on I gotta put the scope back on since I had turned it off, and then I'm going to put the ability back on, tactician. So it's the cooldown of 180 seconds, and then the duration is 150 seconds. And the problem is the cooldown does not start until it's gone. But yeah, it's got 65,000 health. As you can see, for most, that's still almost twice as much as the defender drone. So it has a lot more health than most of the drones, which is great because you want it to stay up. Again, when I put the other skills on there, it didn't show a change to any of the cooldowns, durations, or anything like that. But yeah, I'm sure it does something. It just doesn't. I'd have to test it out. But again, I think the default is well worth it. Is this the right way? Yeah, going to the firing range so I can just show the signature. Well, actually, I'm not going to show you the signature weapon here, but yeah, unless it lets me get. Oh, that's my stash. Now I don't think it'll let me get the stuff. But anyway, let me just go to the DPS real quick. Actually, let me go to range. Change the difficulty to elite. Yeah, let's just go with elite. So, oh, they do give me the weapon ammo, so perfect. So let me show you the weapon real quick. It's amazing. I mean, it looks amazing, and it's really strong. However, here's the problem. If you're using this weapon, you have to aim. You can't just aim in and shoot. So look what happens when I try to aim in and shoot. It won't hit anything. So I have to aim in and wait, then shoot. Now it's really strong. You'll see the lines. So do you see that? There's lines on that come into the middle. And for some reason, I cannot see anything. I don't know what's going on here. It's very cloudy. I'm just going to go to this one real quick. So, yeah, the lines will come in. Let me just pull it out again. You zoom in, lines come in, then you can shoot. So as long as you do that, you're good. Now, personally, I usually wait, and it can penetrate targets, so I usually wait anyway. So if you just wait a second, it'll be good. But that's why I said it's probably not great to wait for to get those points to increase the signature weapon damage. Instead, get the other points. So this is a rifle, and this is the scope. Look how stable this is. This is, let me switch these people up. Like, it's a very stable gun. Now the gun itself is, I think, pretty stable just by default. It's okay. It's a decent stable. But the 30% stability, and then, like, look at this. And I'm on Xbox, by the way. I'm not on PC. So the reload speed is fairly quick. But yeah, it's a pretty stable gun. And for a rifle, like, yeah, you want to get as many headshots as you can. The damage, you'll be doing more damage overall just using your rifle, getting those headshots, than, using your signature weapon. I would basically just use a signature weapon to try and take out very high priority targets, or use it to kill people so that your teammates can get ammo. Oh, and then let me show you the drone real quick. So you see, you put the drone out and then you choose a location. It'll go to it, and look, all those people are being shown now. And so you see it just lifts up in the air, and boom, everybody in that area is shown. And then not only that, so you can see the time ticking down. I can move it if I want, and it'll just go there. It can be killed, but from my experience, the drone is rarely destroyed. It'll make that nice sound when it's in position and it marks everyone. And anybody that comes into the area, like, you can see how far that range is, even way over here. Anybody that comes into the area, I can't hit that one, will be marked. Oh, I guess, yeah, okay. But anyway, that's all I wanted to showcase on this guide. The sharpshooter thing is really good, in my opinion, the specialization. I would like to go over the other two as well, but I'm in World Tier 4 now, and the points are kind of slow going because there's not any more invaded missions. So it's going to take me a while, but my plan is to eventually do guides and videos on the other two specializations. But one more recap. The rifle, you want to have a rifle. You want to get the rifle damage. Let me go back up there real quick. You want to get the headshot damage first, then the reload speed, at least one of them, and then stability. In my opinion, stability and headshot damage is the most important part. Get those first. Get at least one in headshot damage, at least one in reload speed, so you can unlock the stability. And then I would max out in whichever order you want: stability, headshot, and rifle if you're using a rifle. And I would strongly suggest to just find a good rifle to use for this, and then just max those four out: reload speed, stability, headshot damage, rifle. Get the scope, get the drone, and yeah, after that it's really up to you. I would save the signature weapon damage just for last, just because I think it's just too many points to use. But it's going to be strong. Believe me, it hits freaking hard especially if you max it out. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you want to give a like, I would super appreciate it. And you can subscribe for future content for Division 2 and beyond. And I will see you next time.